Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 219 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news, as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my friends.
Friend one, Craig.
Friend number two, also named Craig. It's weird how that works.
You know, I just give you guys a bunch of, we make nicknames, we make, co-hosts, but it's been a long time since I've addressed you as my friends.
Friends.
So,
Yes, friends.
yeah.
I will cherish this moment.
Yeah, you guys are my friends now. I'm also friends with the news, though.
Oh.
Like, the news is always there, yeah. I don't know if that gets in the way of our relationship at all, but the news always comes first.
It never lets you down.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
But news, there isn't a lot to talk about this week. We are in the dog days of gaming, as some would say. News that I have is the Netflix leak of a couple different franchises here. Arcane Season 2, that entire show got leaked.
Where? Can I go watch it?
Probably.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked, because what's funny is I didn't see a lot of that in TikTok, but like the very hyped anime from Netflix, Dan to Dan.
Okay.
And yeah, I am saying that right. Was leaked to hell. Like the OP, the ending, and some of the episodes as well were leaked out. And and it seems to be focused toward animation for whatever reason, but the Terminator anime was also leaked out to the world. Netflix is trying to pull everything down, and they're doing it pretty successfully, if I'm being completely honest. I don't see much of what we saw earlier during the week from the leak, but some pretty big franchises for them. I'm not going to spoil myself from them. I just thought it was worthy movie news.
Mm-hmm. No, most definitely. Any leaks are worth, especially something of that stature.
Are you guys the type of people, and I shouldn't say type of people really in any condescending way, but like if something you're very hyped for leaks, are you going to go out there and seek it, or are you going to wait for the official release?
I ignore everything.
Oh, I go find it.
You go find it. Okay.
Every time.
Look at that. Opposite ends. We're at opposite ends of the platform. Yeah. Yep. I try to ignore.
If it was something I was super excited for, I'd probably go through to do it. Yeah. Like, Craig, I know you said you probably wouldn't, but what's a franchise you would, if it leaked, you'd go search the ends of the worlds to find it?
Oh, in video games, maybe Metal Gear Solid, actually, now that I'm saying it. I don't know, maybe certain Marvel. If movies, it would have to depend on the superhero or heroine in question. Anything Atlas, or specifically Persona 6. Like if I had some juicy nuggets, I guess I should kind of go back. Yeah, if there those things that I said, I would probably search the end.
If there was, I'm not saying there is, but if there was ever a time where they decided to make a Persona anime and it somehow leaked, you guys would both scour the ends of the internet to find it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Because like there's certain things that are above other things that ruin something entirely if you find information before it comes out. Like Craig, we're scary movie guys. Yeah. Like if Longlegs, if you had seen something about it or something specific, it probably would have ruined the whole freaking movie for you, and you don't even want to watch it because I don't know. But that's like a genre that if you do see something, it just ruins everything. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But
seriously, I don't know about
where's Arcane Season 2? Can I watch it?
Yeah, you could probably find it. You can find it somewhere. We then had the Astrobot controller is now out. It's a cute little thing. You can pre-order it.
I missed it.
You guys are not. I was going to ask, would you get it if the opportunity came up? You did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
I wanted it. I thought it looked cool with the little eyes in the middle.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
Cool.
I thought it did too.
How quick to when the pre-orders were released? Oh wow, it was just gone.
Pretty immediately.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty immediately.
Scalpers.
Hopefully they do a restock or something. I have seen one restock already happen, but I'm not actually trying to get it. I don't really
Okay.
need it for any reason. But I did think the controller looked good. I was for you there.
Yep.
We then have something kind of similarly related to Sony. A old Sony studio that now works on VR, Ready at Dawn, has closed down. They were closed down by Meta. They had recently been doing a lot more VR game work. I'm not as familiar with their VR games, but they did make some Sony games, with the Order 1886 being one of them. That game, now I think about it, that was like the cornerstone of the PS4 when it first released, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. They heavily pushed that game.
And it sucked.
I never played it. Maybe
it's
I go back.
It's very pretty, but the
It's
game
very
itself
pretty.
is bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
We then have God of War Chains of Olympus, was also one of the things they made, which I remember playing that game on PSP. It was fun.
Yeah, I missed that one.
And then the standalone Daxter game as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember Ready at Dawn from those two games particularly. I had forgotten that they made the Order 1886, but they did. And finally, from my news end, and I just thought this would be a little bit of fun, but the Baldur's Gate 3 developers have come out and kind of put out some statistics for what players chose for their game, and just to have some out, just in case people want to take a look at it. 1 year after the launch of Baldur's Gate 3, the top 3 origin characters, so you can pick like origin characters to play as your avatar. Number 1 was Asterion at 1.21 million, Gale at 1.20 million, and then Shadowheart at about 800,000, a little bit more than that. 93% of players did create their own avatar. 15% of them decided to start with Dark Urge. Baldur's Gate players will know what that means.
Most of them.
The top class that people picked was Paladin, and then the top race people picked was Elf.
Okay. That all tracks.
If you look up this graphic, and I won't go into it, but they also go into kind of the dating preferences of all of them. Shadowheart was by far the most popular out of most of them. I think they did say that 17% of players did have sex with the druid and chose the bear option. You know, it's just people who are curious, you know. But that game is all about expressing your freedom and allowing you to do a ton of stuff that I find hilarious. But yeah, if you're more interested to get the numbers, go ahead and look at their social media pages. It was up everywhere. But that's all I have for news. What do you guys want to get into?
First and foremost, I wanted to bring up, I had every intention of going to see Borderlands this weekend, but I did not because of just how much it's getting trashed.
I am still seeing it. I'm gonna see it.
There's part of me that says I probably still should, but like people who are just like, because like you see a bad movie come out and you're like, oh, I could watch that and enjoy it because it's so bad. But every review I read was like, it's not even so bad, it's good, it's just bad. But it did. I just wanted to bring up. It debuted at 4th this weekend, 4th, 8 million, and debuted at a wonderful 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, making
what was that number?
0. So probably going to be the worst movie of the year, statistically. I am trying to decide if I do still go see it or if I just wait till it's streaming, because they're going to drop that thing on streaming quick.
Immediately.
Oh yeah.
This week was the time to go see it. I just could not bring myself to do it. This coming week is Alien, so I'd rather see that. But Barry, you say you're still going to go see it?
Yeah, I will be seeing it. I will have a review next week.
God bless. God bless.
God bless. Good luck, my son.
I was literally, I had like the time ready to go. I had the free time, and I was just like, I don't know if I can bring myself to sit through it. Just based on everything. And it's so disappointing because I know I love Borderlands. Barry, you and I have fond memories. Craig, I know you like Borderlands as well. It's just to see another beloved video game franchise just get absolutely destroyed by movie execs and just baffling choices on actors and actresses is just so annoying.
Well, like, here's what you do. You go like the Spider-Man universe route. You take one of the strengths of Borderlands, which is the art style, and you just come up with, I don't know, a medium story. You know, not comparing, because Spider-Man obviously has a plethora of awesome storylines to go down, but just follow the strength of that. How are people not looking at Into the Spideyverse and not being like, video game? Well, not just video game, but like any, like you could do it with a variety of different things. Let me follow that route. Barry, one of your favorite movies right now, which I'm forgetting the title right now, is based off of an art style and a great story.
Oh,
You know, why are we not following that path? You know, you don't do the Michael Bay explosions and all this amazing stuff with like no substance. Sorry,
you're good.
I'm in rant mode right now.
No, yeah. Well, the sad part about it is a couple things. Like a lot of people are going to the like just some of the stuff that people are saying is one, it's not a rated R movie.
Yep.
The gore and the hilariousness that is Borderlands probably tends itself to a rated R movie set. So why that didn't happen is beyond me. I also heard a lot of people complaining about, and not really complaining, but pointing out that the writing changed. So the director / writer left and then was taken over by Eli Roth.
Sucks.
The movie feels very disjointed in where it looks like there should have been something somewhere, and then that event inevitably gets cut. I just don't like. I feel like what sucks at this point is a lot of people will, despite this movie was not going to be good, they knew this.
Yep.
Going in. The fact that they didn't just like not decide not to make it, like they're just like, well, we already spent the money, so we have to make it. So it's one of those things where people would rather kind of tarnish something that a lot of people behold, for their own eventual gains.
Yeah,
I think
as is capitalism
at its finest.
We're running into this problem where I think like movie executives are like, you have to have a big name attached to your movie in order for it to sell, because in their minds they're thinking nobody knows what Borderlands is, it's not going to do well, so let's attach Kevin Hart, right? And another one that comes to mind, I don't know if you guys watched any of the D23 stuff this weekend.
I did. Yeah, some of it.
You know, they come out with the movies that they're coming out with, and they announced Monster Jam, the movie, right? And I'm like, okay. And then starring The Rock. Of course it is. You know, it's like you don't have to throw The Rock at everything. You don't have to throw Kevin Hart because he's a big name when he does not fit the character that he's playing. And from what I've heard, he actually does try to play it serious because Roland is a serious character in Borderlands. But man, just there's ways you can do it. I still say you look at The Last of Us, and they got the gaming studio involved with the TV show. Why can you not do the same thing with the writers of the Borderlands games? Have them come in, and maybe they did, and they just didn't listen to them. You know, it's
I can see that happening too.
Yeah, but like, I mean, and Neil Druckmann's kind of a force, so he can come in and be like, no, this is how it should be. But I felt like we were on an upwards path of video game adaptions, and now we're starting to drop back down again.
It's a steep downhill fall. Yeah. Like it pretty much flatlined.
It did.
With the Borderlands movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait.
What's gonna bring it up?
What?
Sonic and Shadow.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's gonna bring it up.
I think
that's gonna right to the moon, Sonic. Stratosphere.
Right to the moon.
Okay. Off of Borderlands because it makes me angry. I reinstalled Alan Wake this week, and Alan Wake, there was an Easter egg that was found this week by a player, to which the Remedy developers came out and said, thank God somebody finally noticed it. But what it was at the very beginning of the game, when you're in her her mind, oh my God, is it her
mind palace?
Mind place? Is it mind place?
Place?
Place or plus?
Yeah. If you hover over Alan Wake's photo, it plays noise that is tied to the villain, basically pointing out that Alan Wake is the villain at the very beginning of the game, and his alter ego. Somebody did that, and they're like, "Hey, this makes sense." And Remedy came out and was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Just nobody noticed." I never hovered
Wow.
over his photo
Huh.
ever.
I didn't either.
But I thought that was kind of cool. Just something they came out and was like, "Oh my god, somebody finally noticed." It's like Easter eggs that people find years later, and
Yeah,
or the
it's like
developer leaks one later.
yeah, it was like the whole thing with Nier Automata. Like
Yep.
that ended up being like a mod that was hilarious.
Yep.
Like it's one of those things where people find it, it's like, oh my god, new to
Um,
the game.
Also, in the Remedy space, Control 2 is in a playable state now, which is good news. And the Max Payne remake is in full blown production. So we
Let's
are rolling
go.
along. Hoping we can see something soon. I don't know. What would be like the next place they would show a Max Payne remaster trailer? Remake. What do we got coming up? Gamescom?
I just feel like that's too close.
Okay.
If we're being honest,
Yeah.
like
Video
if
Game Awards?
anything, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Video Game Awards.
And that's when again?
It's
December.
gonna be like December, I believe.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley, please invite us.
Yeah,
Maybe
video
we
game wise,
Maybe we see
Okay.
both.
that would be awesome. That would
Like
be
us
awesome.
there and the Max
Yeah.
Payne, yeah.
Yeah. Grab our finest tuxes.
Yes.
I'll
that
be
would
very
cool.
well behaved.
Me too. I'll even wear a suit. I'll wear a suit and tie. I'll be professional. In news that'll make Barry happy.
That's life's all about making me
yes.
happy right
There we
now.
go.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
Yes.
The rumor mills have been a churning with Fortnite, and there's been some interesting leaks, if you call them. I thought it was kind of cool. I saw Darkwing Duck, but the big one for you, Kingdom Hearts, baby.
Yep.
Let's
Coming.
go.
Are you gonna play Fortnite?
I don't want to, but I might. I might just have to.
You buy all the skins.
Maybe we'll see. Maybe one Sora, one Kyrie, one Riku, one Roxas.
Oh my god.
Who would you wear first? Who would you
It's
wear
probably
first?
Sora.
Yeah.
Sora's out here. He's my homie.
Yeah, but you know they're gonna have the Keyblade as like the axe.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I don't know what they would use for like a parachute. Is there any type of parachute? A gummy ship?
They could use a gummy ship. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's it. That's absolutely it.
That's what you do. That's exactly what you do.
I've actually never seen more of a like cohesiveness between two franchises before. It's literally perfect.
It's true. But yeah, that makes me excited as well. I'll probably try it out when that pops.
I mean, Craig, for us old heads, Darkwing Duck's pretty exciting too.
Darkwing Duck's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's freaking tastic, man.
I hate that they do that, and I'm like, guess I'll reinstall Fortnite.
I guess I'll turn it on.
God. Sony Santa Monica is making a new IP for the first time in over 20 years. They let them finally do something new. Good for them.
Yeah.
What if it sucks though?
What is it? God of vegetation? Or no. That's bad. That was bad. Please erase.
What do you want them to do? Any ideas?
I want them to do something new. Just like go and do something completely different.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But Sony, if there's anything Sony knows they're lacking, probably is kind of like a first-person shooter, kind of like Halo or something like that. And I know we already have Bungie like doing something like that, but they seem to be focused on another multiplayer shooter. I'm okay with a good story shooter. That might be fun with Santa Monica's good writing and just to do something different. I don't know. It's just fun to think of. What if Call of Duty was made by Naughty Dog? You know what I mean?
I pulled up their list of games. So I was like, what besides God of War have they made?
That's what I'm saying.
Not much is the answer. They've been doing God of War since 2000. Jeez.
2?
Yeah, way back when. But if you take out all the God of Wars, they did make Warhawk. You remember that game?
Yep.
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. That was a good game. They're listed as The Order 1886, but I think they just published, right?
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Another one that I have fond memories of is Fat Princess Adventures. That game was dope.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed
Fat
that
Princess,
one.
yeah.
I don't know if you remember Starhawk. That
That
was
sounds familiar.
not great. It's Journey. They have Journey listed. Did they make Journey?
I think they had something to do with it.
Okay. They made Sorcery, which was back in 2012 for the PlayStation Eye.
I played that game. That was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neopets, a
And
Neopets
who
game,
doesn't love? Yeah, who doesn't love that?
and Downhill Domination, which was like a downhill BMX. So yeah,
That
not
one I didn't
much
know.
besides God of War. They made God of War and just have stuck to it for like over 20 years at this point.
Wow.
So I, for one, am super excited to see what they come up with. They have a big track record of like single player story type games. So
See, that's what when you were asking like what we would want from them, I wouldn't mind if they had some intense one player story driven game. Just do because like if their execution is
yeah,
amazing.
it's phenomenal.
And because we really know them as God of War, they can do another IP that has just like that skeleton, not the God of War skeleton, just like intense story, single player story. Like they can do that and still, I think, bring a lot of flair and different creativity to it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Last one I wanted to talk about S games, people making Phantom Blade Zero.
Let's
And
do it.
the comments that were made 2 weeks ago now. In an interview, they had said that they were asked about it not coming to Xbox, and they said no one needs that platform. They have come out and clarified that that was not their official statement. That was just somebody who worked for them. I'm not hating on them. I just want to say that, like, I think they're saying what every developer is thinking when Xbox is telling them you have to make it work on the Series S.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so
I
too.
I get it. Like, the best thing Xbox could do at this point is to cut losses on the Series S if they want to compete and just start making games for the Series X, right? Like, or else this is going to keep happening as we get farther and farther along. Developing games continues to evolve. They're going to look at the Series S and be like, no, we're not downgrading our game so people can play it on here. We just won't make it for Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where at the life of the 3DS, eventually games came out on the new 3DS that were only meant for the new 3DS.
Right.
And I have a feeling like at this point, like if Microsoft and their first party in-house studios want to do that, then that's fine because that's their decision to make games that both work on their more powerful and their less powerful console. But you can't be asking third-party developers to be like, no, you need to make this work on it. Like, it should be up to the developer to be like, hey, if you want the game on if you want our game on your system, it's going to be on X and only on X.
Yeah. But they've put themselves in a corner because the Series S is still considered next gen for them.
Exactly. But it's going to be a repeating pattern until they do that. It's just going to be a repeating pattern like this.
So do you think whenever inevitably they announce their next console, they just cut out that and just do one?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. Like, you've seen what Sony's done with like just having two PS5s, one digital only and one with a disc. Like, it seems to have worked for Sony fairly well. And then that way you don't have to worry about the variance of performance in your systems.
Yeah. I literally had a buddy just ask me. He bought a PlayStation 5 for a Call of Duty, and that was one of the questions he had was the difference between the disc and digital. And I was like, you just said it.
Yeah.
see, Craig, that 360 movement, I'm telling you, it's what people are buying it for. It's that 360 movement. It's that lurch over the shoulder that you can get.
Oh my God.
They saw it and they were like, I have to have that.
To tie into that was a leak I did not go search out because every single campaign cutscene leaked for the new Black Ops, and I did not go look at that.
Neither did I.
I want to experience that. But yeah, they need to figure something else out because as much as I love Xbox, like it's caught to the point where if I have a choice, I'm gonna probably buy it on PlayStation because I know it's gonna look better.
Boom, come to the dark side.
Not really the dark side. I still play both, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that was the last thing I had.
All right, so I just have a couple. The first one is what I consider funny news after the monumental flop of Suicide Squad. Warner Brothers has come out and said that they are shifting their focus now to, guess what, free to play games.
Love it.
Thank you for allowing me to pause to laugh.
At what point do you guys think that Suicide Squad's going to go free to play?
That's a good question.
It should have to begin with, right?
It should.
I agree.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I think they eventually have to look at it and be like, yeah, I think just put the game out for free to play.
Yeah.
Like just at this point. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened yet.
But. And when you think about it, like when I was reading this article, over half of like the $200 billion game industry, or 200, sorry, I think it's 200 billion, whatever, gaming industry, over half of the revenue from the gaming industry comes from free to play games. And when you're looking at games that are having success, Fortnite, as much as we make fun of it, Overwatch is still bringing in money. There's something to be had there. And if you're trying to, wet your whistle in terms of the amount of money you're about to make, you got it. Like, why are people not looking at Fortnite's model? Like like we talked about Fortnite just a little bit earlier. My wife and I booted up Fortnite just to check out the new X-Men costumes. Like, we're still doing that, and we're not playing it. Like, Barry, you were literally like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to turn on Fortnite again. That's the exposure that they want. If you're not playing that game, all of a sudden you're just kind of it's still on your PlayStation, just kind of in the background. So I don't know. It's funny to me. They're shifting their focus to that. They could have success there, but I mean, they just erased like essentially all of the money that they made from Hogwarts Legacy with like they just did.
Yeah.
So
I just realized I missed a key Craig joke with that. With the Fortnite and Kingdom Hearts, man, I really let myself.
I mean, bring it up now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Don't let it go to waste.
I love late jokes.
Well, yeah, because you had mentioned like me getting into Fortnite with Sora. I can now play Sora with the Keytar.
Hey!
Yay!
I like it.
I'm done.
I like it. Well done.
You should take a bow.
No, I'm not. I hate myself. I hate myself that I did that.
He said no, I'm not. But that's that one. Do you guys know the name Luke Muscat?
No.
Luke Muscat is the lead designer of and I believe creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride.
Okay.
So recently he has broken off to make his own studio, which is I think great for him. And this is more of a not necessarily news, but kind of like a look out for this. There's a game coming out, which is his first game, at least on Steam, called Feed the Deep. It's coming out August 16th. For those of you that like Dave the Diver, this is essentially a diving game that I guess the storyline is that it's some futuristic time frame. Civilizations, in order to survive, they have to actually feed this giant monster that's located in the depths of some type of ocean or something in order to make sure that it doesn't come up, and destroy everything. So you have to navigate in. It looks very Dave the Diver-esque. Navigate through this underwater area, procedurally generated levels, avoiding monsters, collecting things, and such like that. So this is more of like a lookout thing. When I saw that the guy who created Fruit Ninja did it, I was intrigued because I mean that's an OG mobile game before mobile games got really, really greedy and you just played them for fun, and there were like 5 of them and they were all good. Temple Run. It was Temple Run or Fruit Ninja
Subway
or whatever.
Surfers.
Yeah, Angry Birds. So.
Yep.
But yeah, that game's coming out on Steam. It's called Feed the Deep, August 16th, and this is not a plug. He did not pay me. I was just interested.
It does look pretty cool. I'm looking at the trailer right now.
And then the last thing, I know you guys know that I get really hyped for one game a year.
Yep.
I am completely sold on Black Myth Wukong after this last trailer that came out 3 days ago.
But
Uh,
I thought you were a metaphor guy.
I am a metaphor, but that's like given. I'm talking about a shot in
Well,
the dark.
you said you have one game. I don't know
That's
how much
right.
a shot in the dark is
Yeah.
Wukong.
Sorry. Let me clarify. I have one game that is not normally a sequel or released by one of the developers that the audience and you two know that I loved very well. I usually have
Yep.
one game.
Yep. Clarify. Yep. That's it.
It
That's
was it,
perfect.
it was Lies of P last year.
Yep.
This is my Lies of P. Now, is it going to be Lies of P? I don't know. But I thought the third trailer that they dropped 3 days ago was very impressive. It showed a very charismatic world. Now, I heard that it's like a 15-hour game.
Yeah, 15 to 20 is what
Yeah.
I heard. Yep.
Yeah, one of the streamers that I watch or content creators that I watch said that he got his hands on it and he fought like 10 bosses in the first 5 hours. Apparently, it's a boss heavy game as well. So I'm interested. I like me a good 15-hour game. I like me a good 15-hour game that drops in the end of August before everything else drops. Because get it done, get it over with, and move on to the next and be happy with it. So my outlier for the year, Barry, I know we talk about this game a lot. My outlier that came to fruition for my tastes is Stellar Blade. I don't know if this game is going to nail the Craig thought it was awesome. Craig C. I thought it was awesome. But I don't know. I say check out the trailer if you haven't. But it's pretty good.
I was actually going to bring this up in the gaming section, but this is perfect because you brought it up. I watched a bunch of stuff this week on that game because I've been like on the fence about it, especially since like I've been playing like Nioh and Dark Souls 3 and all that kind of stuff. And I watched a review, and they said they likened it to a little bit of a Souls like and a little bit of God of War, which is very interesting. I was watching like the different stances that you can take. One where like you climb up on top of your pole to avoid like damage and stuff, which is very cool. Um, I need like a definitive answer from you guys on like, do I buy this? Because it's next week, right? If it's a 15 to 20 hour game, I have PTO in next week. I have the whole week off. Is this the game to dive into with a week off? For
Yes.
me, like in
Yes.
not in like it. Do you guys think I will enjoy this game?
I think
With
you
my
will.
history. Okay.
I think you will, especially I think it's going to build off of because Neo is very much rooted in mythology
Yeah.
and lore and a little bit of history there too, but they don't go too heavy just to keep it, more of a game.
Yeah.
So like I think that this is going to kind of follow like that build off of that piggyback that
Mm-hmm. Also,
in
it's
your
not open
interest.
world, which makes me happy.
It's not open world, it's linear, and I don't think there is a parry button. There's not a
There
parry
is
or a
not.
block button. It's
Yeah.
dodging. It's like
Yep.
all dodging, which I
Yep.
think is very interesting as well. And the last thing that I saw in this recent trailer that I think they might have shown in another trailer is you can apparently possess fallen enemies and use them. And it looked like you could possess bosses for
Yep.
like a brief period of time. Well, not possess it. Use basically a clone of the boss against it for a limited time. And that mechanic is not used too often in games like this. So
Barry, are you buying it?
I am hesitant. I'm a
Okay.
little bit more hesitant as we haven't heard a lot about this game.
Mhm.
Like I Stellar Blade, I believe, did a very good job because they released a demo. I
Yeah.
got a feel for the game
that's a good call.
before even buying it. Stellar Blade, yes, nailed the art style for me. I was gonna get it anyway because I am the anime
Right.
guy on this podcast.
Mhm.
But finally getting it in your hands, you realize, oh, this is fun. This is something that they actually put time and like resources into to make enjoyable. Where the combat, I'm trying to figure out the combat of Wukong a bit more, where it looks a little bit slower. Let's say a Stellar Blade. and you can use the powers of enemies. Like at some point, he eventually at one point was like, I think, spreading poisonous gas. I kind of like, because it doesn't look like they're going to put out a demo, I kind of have to wait for reviews.
Yeah.
Because is the game a technical nightmare? Like,
Right.
we've seen many times before, the trailer shows one thing and then the gameplay is actually another. This is a studio that, like, I just can't go, oh yeah, this is Naughty Dog, this is going to be a good game.
Yep.
Like, it's one of those things where I want to pump the brakes a little bit, and I don't have to worry about it selling out physically because there's no physical edition.
Yep. Digital only.
Digital only.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Maybe I wait till a little bit later in this week, get some more like reviews out there. The review I watched, they were playing on PC and they said it ran very well, but they did point out that nobody's played it on PS5 yet. So, and I would much rather play it on PS5 than PC. Yeah. So I am kind of waiting to hear how it is on PS5. That may sway me one way or the other. But everything I've seen recently, I'm like, you know what? It does look good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks good.
Yeah,
I think it looks good for sure, absolutely. Yeah. But my hesitancy is on the combat.
Yeah,
and what more this game has to offer.
Fair.
Yeah, and I don't know. I picked it in our picks.
Yep.
I'm picking it now, so I'll be the one that goes gun ho. And if you guys even want to wait a week and supplement it with reviews, and then additionally maybe even a Craig review right here next Sunday, I'll definitely have played a chunk of it by then.
Yeah, the problem with waiting a week is that you then run into
all the other games.
You then run into Star Wars Outlaws.
Yep.
You run in, especially like for me, Gundam Breaker and Visions of Mana.
Yep.
Visions of Mana for me too, which I'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, they're just like, you don't really have the time to wait anymore because we are hitting that time where everything's coming out. I've had a good like 2 or 3 weeks here where I can just relax. Not anymore.
Yeah, and we're taking that time to catch up on the games.
Yes,
it's a great problem
We've
to
been
have.
Playing. Good transition, everybody. For me,
yes,
I we talk about getting out of the addiction of college football.
Yes,
I'm out of the addiction of college football. I've been playing still P3R. But good. I was invited to the closed beta of FC25.
There you go.
So I've been playing that with my brother for a little bit. So I have good opinions about that. I didn't have to sign an NDA or anything, so I can actually talk about it.
I am up to about level 90 in Nioh, so I'm still pumping that out. But speaking of addiction, they dropped the Crash Bandicoot collection on Game Pass, which I've already played on PlayStation, and I just fell right back into that again. But I did play some Creatures of Ava as well.
Okay.
I haven't downloaded. I meant to start it, but
I'm still chipping away at Dungeons of Hinterberg, which is really honestly the only thing I'll say about it is it's just a great calm game to just kind of go and play a chunk and leave. I have a rant about college football 25. And might be the last thing I ever say about it. And then I played the Visions of Mana demo. So I have
I downloaded that, but I didn't play it yet. We're in like the same boat, Barry, you and I, downloading things and not playing them.
Yeah. So college football is the oldest game out of everything that's anybody played. So let's hear this rant. I'm glad you have one because I'm all ranted out after the Game Informer.
All right, so this one is stepping away from gameplay, which is still sometimes questionable, but I get through it. So I've been exclusively doing Dynasty mode. I haven't even really strayed from that.
I haven't even touched Dynasty mode yet.
Me neither.
That's crazy.
Yep. I've been doing Dynasty. I am in season 2033 right now. I've been playing a lot. And so...
You lost a 5-star recruit, didn't you?
No. Well, that does happen, but so I had a miraculous couple of seasons, like 5 seasons in the beginning at Penn State, and then despite me asking you guys in text if I should go to Ohio State, I actually ended up taking a job at LSU, so that's been my college for a bit. But here's my rant. So one of the awesome things of the game, besides the recruiting aspect, is building up your coach. And they have a variety of different things that you can unlock to make your recruitment, games, all types of things harder. You have like recruiter mode, which makes it obviously easier to recruit people. There are specific modes that allow like away games to not have an effect on your team as much. Players to get their stamina back quicker or heal from injury quicker. They even, as you get up the tier, have a CEO, which has like ridiculous perks that you can unlock, obviously for more gold coins that you get for every level that you increase. So part of it is like trying to create this coach that has specific tendencies that move to your play style, but also building up to like CEO so you can get some of the best perks. I recently realized in my season that you cap at level 50. Why? Why? Now, I understand if you cap, because you get 10 gold coins or whatever they called per level increase. And a lot of the abilities take about 8 to 10 to even 12 to unlock. But when you hit level 50, you have nowhere near. I'm not talking about like maybe 75% is unlocked. You don't even have that unlocked. You have maybe one full skill done and a couple of others. In addition, in order to get some of the higher tiered things, you have to have 5 players go number 1 in the draft. You have to win 2 national championship titles. Is that easy to do in your first couple of seasons as a coach? You bet not. It's not even easy to do in mid to high to like later down in your career. Why do you cap at 50 for a game
You
that
can have it all, Craig.
but
You can't be the you can't surpass Nick Saban. They can't allow that. Not even a game.
I don't
Not
want to
even a
have
game could surpass him.
I don't want to have it all. I just want to be able to have maybe 60% of the skills unlocked. Because I put in the work. I've been playing this game religiously since like it came out, and I can't even like I have 50,000 experience just sitting there, and I'm just watching it stay at 50 and not go to 51. And if we're talking about longevity for a game, they knew there were many people like me out there that were going to continue to play this game, find the time to do it. Why would you not create longevity out of one of your 2 major modes, most popular modes that you have in the game? Now, they could patch it and just like fix it real quick and just like make it like 75. Again, I get not being able to unlock every single thing, but the only reason I'm playing this game is for 2 reasons. One, to get my coach like amazing, so I could just literally go like anywhere every season if I wanted. I don't know. But the other reason is recruiting, because they created this game where like as soon as I decide to stop playing, I look at one recruit and I want to see how they play next season. So then I play through the season to get to the next season to then see how that 5-star recruit played. And that happens every season, guys. Every season. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should put it down and play another game. And I'm like, ooh, but I drafted, Carl Bad Smith, and he's the new wide receiver, this 5-star with all these awesome things. I'll just play the rest of the season and then see how he is the next season, and then I'll put it down. So I don't know. There's a lot of reasons to play this game, and there's definitely, as you gentlemen have pointed out in previous podcasts, a lot of reasons to stop. This one is quite annoying because I didn't know. And like now it feels like I kind of just put like 3 weeks into something that I was maybe going to play more. But because my coach can't get any higher, like where's the experience, where's the drive besides just doing recruiting every season, which is getting old, besides the 1 or 2 that you like invest your like heart in that you actually like landed. I don't
Yeah,
like
I don't
it.
know. That's yeah, like that. The more we seem to find out about this game, the more it seems like it's rushed. It was rushed, despite the fact that they had a 2-year cycle or 3 years to make it. I kind of agree. I do believe it. It looks like it's a little bit of a oversight in the fact that you can only get to level 50, but it did take you 10 years in game to get to level 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
10
That is,
seasons.
that is a decent amount of seasons.
It
But
is.
yeah, hopefully it's something that can just be patched to be level 75 or something. And but maybe it's meant so that way coaches don't get too overpowered. Like there is the online aspect, which maybe that's why there's that cap on there.
That makes sense. I didn't consider that because I'm a lonely loner.
Yeah, it's what what we do. We make sense.
Let me ask you guys this question right here.
Okay,
now that we've had college football for a while, is it still in your top 10 for the year?
Yeah.
I'm in trouble here because I just ranted about it. I guess. Yes.
I think it still has to be for me.
As of right now, this college football game is the best sports game we've gotten in over a decade.
Oh, for sure.
So, like, I personally, as one of the people who play a lot of sports game on this podcast, I have to take that into consideration.
Right.
Even if it's like low on the top 10, and we'll see with the rest of the games coming out this year, I have to take that in. This is like, there hasn't been a sports game that's been rated 86 on Metacritic in quite some time. Like, people do love this game despite its shortcomings, but it nails the important things, which is what we sports fans have been asking for years.
Yep.
Just, stop putting all your time and effort on what makes you money. Ultimate Team, can you put time and effort into something else? Because the Ultimate Team's still the same. It's the same thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much time, and I guess this now turned into my rant. Is
go ahead, man.
Ultimate Team is still Ultimate Team no matter how many hours you put into that. It's still all about predatory buying these players, having the best team, blah blah blah. Whereas just put your resources somewhere else. You can Ultimate Team, you could legitimately do no upgrades to Ultimate Team for the next 3 years, and no one would care. Mm-hmm. No one would know the difference. You'd still get a crap ton of money from it. That's what you can do. Mm-hmm. But year in and year out, we always just see, oh, look at these improvements to the Ultimate Team.
Right.
I'm trying not to be the looking towards the next thing and being ungrateful for what I have, but I've really been man, but a college basketball game again?
Oh, yeah.
Would be so cool. But I'm also trying to be you know what? We just got college football back. Let me not get too over ambitious here.
No, I agree. I want so bad to take Penn State football is one animal here. Penn State men's basketball.
Yeah, terrible.
Craig, you and I, we've been in it.
Yep.
We've been through it. We've been through the ringer. Just give us a college basketball game that I can take Penn State to just be the best basketball team. It would just be so much fun.
I think that's really low on priorities, a college basketball
for sure.
game. But that I keep looking at. I see people playing the old ones still, and I still have a bunch of the old ones. I'm man, if we could get the college football treatment with college basketball,
yeah,
maybe someday.
I love it.
All right, so then we have those. Let's see here. I'll get into the FIFA 25 closed beta, or FC 25 closed beta. So I will say the only thing that's accessed to me right now is seasons. No Ultimate Team. That I can play, which is kind of strange considering that Ultimate Team is pretty much what everybody wants to play in FC 25. Pro clubs, which I think is the reason why I got invited to this closed beta, because I spend a lot of time in pro clubs and playing with my brother. Just overall in general, the thing that I hate is I was telling myself I probably wasn't going to get the new FIFA game this year. I'm getting the new FIFA game this year. I'm back in the hole, but I don't know what it is. For me, it feels different a little bit with a couple aspects. One of the most annoying things about pro clubs is that the computer teammates are complete and utter idiots. That, well, you can't do anything without having to hold their hand physically. But this year in pro clubs, my defensemen are actually passing back to the goaltender instead of just panicking and trying to throw the ball and causing a turnover. I'm actually seeing them do things that make sense in real life. So a little bit of the frustration for pro clubs for me has now been taken out of the way. Just to keep that in mind, like with FC25, it barely looks the same. Like that is it. It's really hard to make FIFA look better than it does already, because the moment you zoom in to somebody's like pitch and the players' faces, it all looks fantastic. I do want to say I have to give them a big shout out for like the character creation in this game. They take it to a whole new level this year. You can create monstrosities
Yeah.
like uneven eyes, malformed faces. Like it's hilarious. Some of the stuff that you're able to do, and to like make a character that looks like you is usually very hard to do. It's actually pretty easy to do in this game. Like I have to give it to them. Like there are hundreds of face presets to pick from. The character customization actually is like, I'm impressed with that. There's a lot of that this year. The one thing I can't comment on just yet, but it was a leak, is apparently there is going to be co-op careers.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
And that would be incredible to create your own player, and it's not much different than what you do in pro clubs, but you can do it in the sphere of actual soccer teams. So if that is the case, I am very excited to try it. I do believe it's a legitimate leak, and I'm hoping it plays out how I think it will. With I'm able to be a center midfielder for Tottenham Hotspurs or Real Madrid, and then my brother can play striker for the same team, and we can play through a season together.
That's cool.
No, that would be fantastic.
And if that's the case, I honestly think like it'll win over a lot of people with that feature, because like it's one of the things that like we kind of wish college football did. I want all my friends to be able to play on the same team together through a season. So it's one of those things that like would be a lot of fun if I'm the quarterback, Craig you're the running back, and other Craig you're the wide receiver, and we get to play through all 4 years of college, and we get to party, we get to drive our cars GTA style out to the clubs.
I love it.
Skip
and
class.
Party it with our with our NIL money.
No, that'd be fun. Like if that happened, I would literally mark the calendar on game days. I would be like, we got Michigan on Thursday.
Yeah. We'd have set days is what we would do. We'd have set days to play. But like P3R for me again is I'm still playing that, and it's a lot of fun. I've been really putting my head into the grindstone with this game, and I'm enjoying a lot of it. I'm a little bit confused with some of the stuff. Like spending time with like your NPC players used to like get you bonus abilities. It doesn't look like that's the case in this game. Like they're just meant to help you level up your personas when you make a persona in that archetype. And
there's random ones, like random benefits if you speak to them on specific days. I've noticed, because I've missed days and I've caught days where like somebody's hanging out and you like where you walk the dog. If you walk the dog with certain people, that ends up giving you like an actual bonus that's tangible, besides the persona thing. But you're right, it is, yeah, for the most part, definitely.
I haven't picked up my waifu yet, so we'll get there.
That may be...
Come, who are you, Craig? Are you Yukari?
No, I'm Mitsuru, the real serious.
Yeah.
Mitsuru,
you had to be smart.
Mitsuru.
You had to be smart to talk to her. You were in the classroom studying.
I was a late flirter in that game, definitely. I focused on the story the whole time until the end.
All right, what about the games you played, Craig? Did you play any dating simulators?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I feel a lot more confident to play Souls-like games and not just run around with a shield because of Nioh. Level 90-ish. I don't even know how many hours in. I don't know how close I am to the end of that game because I've never actually beaten it before. But I feel like it's gotten a lot easier to identify boss attack patterns and just kind of like either dodge out of the way. Or the big thing that took me like 3/4 of my playtime is learning how to dodge into them when they attack instead of away from
Yes.
them. That's such a
Yep.
big thing that I never did.
So just before you go any further, we're gonna do a little bit of glazing on this podcast. I have
Yep.
to give you your flowers here, Craig.
Yep.
Seeing your
Yeah.
like your love for these games come out
Trying.
makes
Yeah.
yeah no it like you they are difficult and very frustrating games,
Yeah.
and so many people will give up on them for that. But like you've taken that and in stride with, the moment Elden Ring seems to be a little bit hard, instead of just dropping that entire
Yeah.
archetype of game in general, you go to something else. And like, you mentioning that portion is a big part of
Huge.
like Souls games in general. Like dodging into them
Yep.
is a huge part of
Yeah.
like, because everybody wants to keep their space.
Right.
But like seeing you say that, I know like you've been developing.
Yep.
You've been, and I just want to give you your flowers. I'm just
I
doing
think
You should be
a
proud.
light glaze for Craig.
I think like I was thinking about it this week when I was playing, because I was like, all right, I have to be getting close-ish to the end of Nioh. Like I feel like I'm gonna beat Nioh, and then like I feel like I should go into Nioh 2. And then part of me says that if I beat Nioh 1 and 2, then maybe then is the time that I actually be like, all right, I'm gonna go in and beat Sekiro. You know what I mean? Because that game has just pissed me off to no end.
Oh yeah, no, Sekiro
Yeah.
and like that game, like it tests the
Yeah, it
limits of
It does.
Yeah.
of my patience.
But
I
maybe
spend
if
the time
I
reading.
by the time I get through both Neos, I'll be like, all right, maybe my skills will be better than they were the last time I tried to play Sekiro, and I didn't even get to like the first boss, and I was just like, nope,
Right.
this game is too much. Because I do want to play that game, because literally everybody's like, that game's incredible. It's just
It
extremely
is.
frustrating.
Yeah.
And then maybe I go back to, you know, Elden Ring and Demon Souls.
It's okay. You don't have to go back to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Like I've played enough Elden Ring in my time right now. I have no desire to get the DLC or finish that game.
Fair.
I know I'm at the point where it's like, I don't really need to do this anymore.
That's fair.
And like Craig, I think Barry, was it you last week or the week before that said that Sekiro gave you the most accomplished feeling you have ever had from beating at least a Souls game? I don't know if it's
Yeah.
any game, but it was a Soul. Like there is, like every boss, even or harder part or group of enemies, almost gives you like you have to put the controller down and do a backflip. Like it's rewarding, but it's very tough to get that reward.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to beat it, because like I always see the videos and I'm like, it looks incredible, and I have it and I need to play through it. But my only issue is like I can get through Nioh. I'm probably not going to get through Nioh 2 before something else comes out.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's gonna be weird.
yeah, we're pushing into it. So like I
Yeah.
at least want to get Nioh done like this week, hopefully. But on top of that, Creatures of Ava, real quick. I haven't gotten a whole lot of time into it, but that is also a super cozy game, if you will. Very light on like the fighting mechanics, but there is some in there. I'm just really enjoying like taking pictures of the animals. It's kind of got like a light Pokemon feel to it a little bit. And it's just a nice calming game, which is what you need when you're playing Souls likes all the time. And on top of that, playing through Crash Bandicoot again and getting so angry at those games.
Oh my god, they're tough.
Yeah.
They're yeah. So like having Creatures of Ava on the side, like that's a perfect game for that. Barry, you said you downloaded it.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think you'll like it.
Everything I've seen, I'm gonna like this game.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen from
It looks like it's about like an 8 to 10 hour game, so not super long.
Yeah, like you had mentioned earlier about like games I'll do anything like
Yeah.
to get a leak for, or like to play. Like for me, that's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, and Creatures of Ava seems to be that kind of maybe what gives me that itch so
Yeah.
that I can wait and not spoil myself on everything Pokemon ZA when that comes out.
I thought you were gonna say scratch. Give me that itch so that I can scratch.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game for this week, right? I mean, you are playing Persona, so that kind of ties you up. But I would say check it out. I think both of you honestly would like it. Barry, I think you would like it a little bit more, but I would recommend it. It's on Game Pass for everybody, so
If you recommend it to me, I will play it. I will play
Yes.
any game you recommend to
All
me. I know. I take that back.
Boom.
why?
You're
What?
going to take advantage of that.
No, I don't think I ever have. Usually, I feel like I come in pretty fair with like, oh, this is one you'll like, or like Craig, this is one you'll like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Barry, I know you. I know what you said, but I think I want you to play. Grab yourself a modded PS5, and you're gonna play PT.
Yep.
You're gonna
PT,
play PT.
baby.
It's time.
You're gonna play PT.
That's fair. No, I don't do that to you.
I know. So far, you haven't, but I'm not. I can't give you too much power.
Except Resident Evil 8, and you still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely.
I'm glad you brought
absolutely.
it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You've gotten me to enjoy.
Did you feel accomplished when you beat that game?
Yeah.
I did too. Yeah.
I did.
At least in 8, I did feel like that final boss battle was a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like,
she was a bullet sponge. That was the only thing I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was one of those things. Like, I remember streaming that entire game. I think I was trying to 360 no scope her at some point. If I remember correctly. But like, there are so many good highs of that game that it did feel a little low facing that final.
I agree.
Final one.
Yeah, those are the games I played. Knocked them out of here.
All right. Well, I ranted about the game that I was playing, but Visions of Mana, real quick, or Mana, Visions of Mana. Yeah. So I'm a of Mana player, not every series, but when we're thinking like Secret, like and like the older games, I always liked what they brought to it, and I'm sold. I pre-ordered this game right after I played the demo. What I think happened with this one is there's a lot of open there's a lot of veering in combat, which is great because I think that to some degree that may have been something that I wished in older games. It looks like it has a lot more that you can do, a lot more of a path that you can take to customize each character as well. And it looks beautiful. It looks very it has the I'm just going to use of Mana because there's so many different titles, but it always ends with of Mana. It has the art style that everybody is used to from that series, but the PS5, well, that's what I played it on, but the newer age feel in terms of the visuals that you can create with modern gaming. And while the story still kind of followed something similar to maybe not fully keep my attention, the first thing I noticed when you popped into that demo is voices.
Yeah. What did you think about that cat guy? That man comes out in a whole other octave that I was not prepared for.
He did. I was like, what? And so, yeah, you're right there. And I think that those bits and pieces are going to elevate that series, and that was enough for me, somebody who was already interested in playing this installment, to fully commit to this installment and giving it a whirl. So it's pre-ordered. I'll be getting a day of, hopefully, if the mail loves me. But I think everybody should try that demo, and I think this is, to your point, Barry, and that Craig, I think you fortified that point, but to your point, Barry, why demos should be more of a thing. Yeah. Especially for something like Black Myth Wukong, to be honest, because I literally put down the PS5 controller and then went to my device to purchase it. Like there was no time in between. So
I did want to ask you, so 2 things. Did you run into any performance issues? Like I had some stuttering of frames on the demo for me.
I didn't see any. I just had some minor things like, getting caught behind a tree that's like on the edge of the level created that kind of thing, but I didn't run into anything.
And secondly, like, what'd you think of the vanilla type country girl voice that's going on the other one as well? Like, it is quite diverse, but I was not expecting country vanilla Final Fantasy 13 type accent.
I was like, when I was like pre-ordering the game, I was like, oh my god, I think I actually want to know like how you bump into her. Like, where is she from? When that voice came out of that body, I was like, oh, okay. Same thing with the man cat. Like, yeah. It's just like, I need to know like what did they create as her hometown or home area? and and are we bumping in and getting some home
I didn't.
cooking?
Oh, I was about to say. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about an entire an entire town of country folk talking about country.
Yeah, it was. It's such a
It's even coming out of me.
It's coming out of you. I don't know. It was a very interesting, and I don't know if it was building off of the fact that like of Mana games don't have voices, but like it was a very interesting choice they took with these voices. So we'll see how it moves from here.
Before we move on to movies, there's a piece of news that just broke that I wanted to bring up, which is pretty exciting.
Ooh, we don't have breaking news all the time.
No, we don't. Not usually. Krafton, the game company behind PUBG, right? Big company. They just acquired Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's cool.
So specifically, the company is not being closed, and Hi-Fi Rush is owned by Krafton, so they can make more.
Best story of the year so far.
Hats off
best story
to
of
them.
the year.
Best story of the year thus far.
So that's big news. I'm excited for them. Hopefully they can make some more games because Hi-Fi Rush was amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yep.
It was great.
So happy ending for them, hopefully. Yeah, that was it. I just saw that
Cool.
pop up and
All
I was
right.
excited.
So so you mentioned movies and TV shows. With how much I've been playing other games, I have not been watching a lot. I've been keeping up with the Suicide Squad Isekai on Max. And you know what? I can talk about House of Dragons finale. House of Dragons is over. I can talk about that. All right. No, I watched that.
I finished The Boys, the season 4, right? Season 4.
Yes.
I watched Kingdom of Planet of the Apes. I got that out of the way, and I did not finish the first movie, but I did start today, which is why I didn't finish it. My journey to try and watch all of the Studio Ghibli movies.
So nice, cool.
I started with Spirited Away. I'm about halfway through it right now, so hopefully I can get through a bunch of those.
You got to let me know which ones you're watching, and then I will rewatch some of them.
Okay.
And then we can have a back
Spirited
and forth
Away right now. I don't know if there's not really a specific order.
I don't need to rewatch Spirited Away. I've seen that one enough.
Okay, that's fair. I just kind of picked I had an article pulled up of the best, you know what I mean? And I was just like, all right, let's start at the top. And it was Spirited Away. And I was like, all right, we'll start with that one. But yeah.
All right. Well, I finished my Godzilla King Kong trek, but actually not King Kong, I guess. I watched Godzilla 0 or -1. I don't know why I'm saying -0.
-1.
Godzilla -1, which Barry, I knew you would like specifically. And I haven't been watching too much other stuff as well. So that's essentially what I have.
The black and white version is coming to Netflix, by the way, of Godzilla -1. Yep.
Oh,
I might rewatch it just for that.
I think I might. Yeah.
I won't review it, but Craig, randomly, I watched the first Alien to get ready for Aliens.
Classic.
For Romulus.
Alien Romulus. Heck yeah.
All right. Where to start here? I'll just go into my House of Dragons.
Okay.
Type stuff. A lot of people are pretty mad about how the finale went. It kind of felt like a 70-minute trailer for it kind of felt like this entire season was a trailer for what's going to happen in season 3. The creators have kind of already come out and said that yes, that is the case. Season 3 is going to be bonkers. I liked it. So much of the time, we as watchers, especially for Game of Thrones, we're waiting for this huge thing to come up at the end. And what they did is we did get huge events, but they weren't these action set pieces. They weren't Battle of the Bastards. They weren't, the finale of Game of Thrones type deals there. But what it was really good writing. It is all of the intrigue and all of this stuff going back and forth. I am someone who doesn't need just action to make my brain go yay. It can be good writing, and I liked the writing for this season. Yes, I maybe not jerking my chain. That could have went really weird places. But instead of I really wish they didn't lead us to have these expectations, and I think that's why people are so angry. But I didn't watch and I don't watch the trailers for the next episode. Once that episode is done, I'm done. And I think that maybe helped me in the long run. I didn't have these expectations for what was the next episode. I just took each in stride. So
Okay.
Next season's going to be bonkers, and I'm excited for that.
This is like the year of transitional seasons, huh? You can arguably call The Boys that season. I haven't watched it yet, but didn't you guys say The Bear? The season this year is definitely a building block season. I don't know what you call them. Like, I'm calling it a building block season, and now House of Dragons, So it sounds like television next year is going to be freaking insane. Or, sorry, I guess maybe give them a little longer to do some filming.
Yeah, House of Dragons is going to take 2 to 3 years. Yeah.
But that's fantastic. I guess I'll do Godzilla -1 since that's a pretty that's an older flick, so to speak. So this is fantastic. This movie's great. And I will tell you why, because if you literally soundbite me earlier, or clip me from like a couple of episodes ago when I was talking about Godzilla and King Kong, there's not a lot of interest in the human aspect. You kind of just want the monsters to come back on the screen. What Godzilla -1 does is focus on a traumatizing post World War II person's experience, except the experience is not World War II battle related. You're not in D-Day or anything like that. It's literally because Godzilla attacked what was a quiet encampment for a gentleman, and he survived, and he was the only one, or one of the only ones that survived. And him dealing with the post stress of that was actually a very fixating part of the story. So what happens is you care about something other than the monster. And that's what this movie did incredibly.
Godzilla's the bad guy. Godzilla is the bad guy in this movie.
Godzilla is the bad guy. And I know that there's certain storylines over the Godzilla time frame, dating way back, where he's depicted more as good, and even fashioned in his makeup, or his built, how they build him as a good guy, or at least trying to be good. But Godzilla is the antagonist, the antagonist in this, and the difference is not in just the body destruction, but in the mind. And you would never think to have a storyline focus on somebody who's dealing as a survivor of a Godzilla attack and what it's doing to them. Let alone the setting worked perfectly as well in terms of how they fought Godzilla, because they really hammered in on that. It's kind of nice seeing primitive technology. Jesus, I'm saying World War II technology is primitive, but it's interesting seeing that era, what they would do to fight, and then I guess the last big thing to touch on, because I could speak for a while about this movie, is Godzilla himself. I was his walking stance. I was okay with. I was okay with it. He had a marching way of walking.
A little goofy in this movie.
He did, but when he was destructing, the destruction was awesome.
Yeah.
The scene, and this doesn't ruin it for anybody, but they're trying to gather for a particular assault on him at some point in the film, and as they're at a dock doing it, there's a freight liner or a major ship that just flies past all of the main characters you've been with for a while, and I don't know, that hit it for me. And what did you guys think of the heat ray? Because the heat ray always has varying levels of destructive power. This one was essentially just like a nuclear bomb. And it was scary. I was worried. I'm always worried when Godzilla does his little his heat ray, his gamma ray, whatever it's called at that point. But this one looks like it takes out continents. And I was okay.
That's Super Saiyan Godzilla.
It was. But one of the things they did also nail too was how he prepared it. I did like the scales protruding and the camera focused on him as each one made its way out of his body. That made it more of an event instead of just watching him just like glow for a while. Like they do it in different films as well, but like I don't know, they kind of nailed certain things here, which made the Godzilla portion great, and then the story while you're in between Godzilla attacks was also, I think, very, very strong. So like I understand why this got the hype. I understand why Godzilla Kong, the latest one, was compared to and by certain critics chastised because of it. So this is a great film, and I can't wait to see what comes next from this. But it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I think I will wait until the black and white version and just watch it again. The Boys season 4. You know what's funny is I think it's one of my favorite seasons.
I'm glad
Okay.
I'm glad you like it that much.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody was
good.
kind of, everything I was hearing was kind of like, it's all right. But I just enjoyed everybody's like arcs that they had. Everybody is on their own kind of path, and like I even enjoyed. I'm not a big Starlight fan, but I really enjoyed her whole arc of like not being able to use her powers because of everything going on and realizing she's not a great person. I mean, we all knew that, but a lot of that, like Homelander is even more crazy, which is incredible. Like that scene where he goes back to where he grew up and just kills everybody is insane.
Yes.
The last episode was bonkers and I enjoyed it. There's just, I don't know, I just something about that show they just do incredibly well. I'm assuming one more season and then they're done. I would hope.
Yeah, the last season is announced. Yeah, as the fifth one, as the last.
Yeah. Leading up to like that, I don't know. I had a soft spot for I'm forgetting her name, but the vice president.
Yes.
So that last episode caught me off guard.
I didn't want that.
No,
I didn't want that.
No. So that one kind of threw me off a little bit. I did not see that coming. Huey is still great. Point. Yeah, they do that a lot though. Like characters, you are like, oh, they're a main character. They'll just kill them off. Like they don't even care, which is good. You need that to kind of keep you on your toes. I'm excited to see how they wrap it up because they have a lot of hype going from these past 4 seasons, so they got to be able to close it well. Whether or not they decide to kill Homelander or not, which I don't think they do. I really don't. I think they lock him up or something, but I don't think he dies.
Yeah, and like, I don't know how they lock him up.
Yeah.
I mean, they did.
They did it with his dad, right?
They
Jensen Ackles' character, forgetting his name. And
Soldier Boy.
And we're getting a spinoff with him. But yeah, I don't know. If they do kill him, I'm sure it'll be glorious. It'll probably be his son doing it.
That's what I'm excited for, Craig. I'm glad you said that. I want to see the dynamic of Soldier Boy and Homelander in this 5th season. It's going to be interesting.
And my heart goes out to, and I don't know his name, but who plays Homelander's son. My heart goes out to him because he filmed this whole season going through puberty and his voice sounding just cracking all over the place. So I felt so bad for him the whole time. But that I thought it was one of the better seasons they've done. And it'll be in my top. Yeah, go ahead.
This is for both of you. What did you guys think about the ice rink scene? Just in general.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Pretty good. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
As far as boys' humor, I think they nailed it there. Just like the total and utter chaos.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just filmed so well. The over the top like gore works somehow. I don't know. It's not for everybody, obviously, but I think it's great. Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, a movie that nobody asked for, I think is the right way to put it. But it's not bad. I enjoyed it. They're obviously setting up for more. I don't think we need more, but it's worth a watch. I enjoyed the other Planet of the Apes movies. The first one of the rebooted version, I really, really liked. I've watched that movie a lot. This is one that I kind of put off because I was like, nobody's asking for more Planet of the Apes movies, but somehow they find a way to have entertaining stories. And the CGI on it is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they can make them look so lifelike is insane. They've come a long way from that first rebooted movie. So if you had interest in the original Planet of the Apes, I would say watch it. I wouldn't go out of your way to watch it. I think it's streaming on either Paramount or Peacock or one or the other. So you don't even have to pay to watch it. But it's not bad. It's a good lazy Sunday movie. Put it that way. I'm glad I didn't see it in theaters. I definitely didn't need to see it in theaters.
Yes.
I don't think anybody did.
Fair.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to get into?
Nope.
Cool.
Nope.
All right. That'll mark the end of the podcast. I appreciate everybody for listening. If you feel so inclined, please make sure to share it with a friend, leave a 5-star, leave a thumbs up on your podcast listening platform of choice. Also leave a review. I would appreciate it if you could do that. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate all the people that have been watching that Game Informer one. That one had a bit more uptake in views, probably because I nailed the headline there. So it probably got out to more people a little bit.
Oh, your rant was fantastic, though, as well.
So I appreciate people taking the time to watch that and support us. We are always very grateful. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.